We're going to go live now. Welcome, I'm your host Sonny, and I'm delighted that you've taken the time to join us today for this live event in partnership with Welsh Government, Working Wales and Careers Wales. So this session is all about traineeships as your route to success. Just a few things to point out before we get started. So on Q&A, all questions are welcome and will only be shared with the presenters. If you are asking a question, please ask anonymously. To ask a question, click on the Q&A icon in the top right corner of your screen. We've got specialist ALNN careers advisors on hand to take calls and answer your questions, and they can be contacted on the details shown on screen. And finally, we will be transcribing all the live events in both English and Welsh, and these will be available soon after the event. So let me hand you over now to our host today, Jonathan Davies, OBE, sports commentator and former Welsh rugby player. Jonathan, it's over to you.
Cheers, Sonny. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on our virtual open day in lockdown. And since lockdown, everything is virtual these days, but it gives you a great opportunity to watch us from your homes. Okay, so diolch am ymuno â ni ar gyfer ein diwrnod agored rhythwyr. Throughout this session, we would like to give you an insight on what it is a traineeship and how you can access one. But first, I would like to introduce you to the colleagues who will be joining me today, okay? Can I introduce you to Ellicia-Mai Jones? At the beginning of this year, Ellicia started her learning journey on the Traineeships engagement program and has since progressed onto Traineeships level 1. Ellicia is now looking for a work placement. We also have Kate Elsmere-Smith, who supports Ellicia through her training, and Kath Morris-Roberts, who is our expert on traineeships and apprenticeships program in Wales. Kath is here to make sure you get the most up-to-date information. Kath has been with me all week. I've seen her more than my wife, to be honest, this week. So, diolch I bawb am ymuno â ni. So, let's first find out what a traineeship is. So, Kate, can you tell everyone what is a traineeship? Beth yw'r hyfforddiad?
Yes, of course. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kate.
We are offering a traineeship for young people in Wales, anywhere from the age of 16 through to 18. It offers them a different way of learning, gives them a learning program which we can sort of tailor to their individual needs and interests. It'll help develop employability skills and give them the skills that they need to go on and search for work, which is one of the things that we actively do on our working week. Most learners will join us at an engagement level, so we can sort of work out where they are, where they go in and find a route for them, and then they progress through the levels from there.
There we are. So, and Ellicia, why did you choose traineeship, Ellicia?
I chose a traineeship just because I tried college. I went to Ymunwch for, well, from September till October, so only a month. Didn't last very long. It just felt too much like school, and I didn't really enjoy school that much. Whereas as soon as I joined Centre, it was a much more relaxed environment. They were smaller groups, which meant there was more support. And it was a lot more friendlier. It wasn't as strict, I should say, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
And I am really enjoying the fact that I chose a traineeship over college.
Well, I think not everyone is up for college or university. That's the reality of life. I've got 5 kids, and 2 have gone to university and 1 didn't, and he's happy as Larry, my son is. So I think the options are out there for everyone to look at and not get pressurized into doing what they don't want to do. So I fully applaud what you've done. So what is your typical week program, Ellicia?
On a Monday, we usually have job search, and then West maybe, and then a smaller task. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is then just like a mixture of topics. We do basic English and maths. We do our Welsh on, I don't know if we use Duolingo or just things in the classroom. Sometimes it's a lesson where we have to go away and there was a lesson a few months ago where we had to make our own presentations to show the class. And we all kind of got into groups and chose different topics, so it was quite good learning about things that maybe some of us didn't really know that much about off our other friends in the group.
Have you gained more confidence, like from leaving college and going into
I
a
have gained
traineeship?
a lot more confidence from
And
going.
that's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for me, because I've kind of struggled since last year, since the start of last year. I've kind of struggled with my self-esteem and self-confidence. And usually I keep to myself, and I'm quite like introverted, but since I've joined centre, I just feel so much more relaxed, and I feel like I can talk to anyone in centre about anything and I could trust them.
Have you gained more confidence as well in doing that? Because, you know, it's when you get your little cliques in school and colleges and everything, you just, you know, you're stepping into the big wide world as well now. So the important thing is confidence and, you know, expressing yourself. So you feel you can do that?
Yeah, I'm a lot better at talking to like groups of people. And I have gained a lot more confidence within myself while I've been with centre.
Okay. Have you have you ever thought? Have you got any ideas where you want to go, job-wise?
I've actually made a deal with my stepdad.
Oh, okay. Go on,
next year, if I'm 19 and I'm not in like a permanent job or not anything important, I said I'd join the Navy.
All right. So hang on. Oh, yeah. I didn't ask you. You know, I asked you what you wanted to do, not a bet, and if you don't get a job, you're going to go to the Navy. That's different, that. So, what would you? The Navy is a great job. So, have you had any idea of where you want to go?
I'm not really sure. I think for the moment, I'm just going to stay in centre.
Yeah.
And improve a little bit more on some skills that I might not be that good at, and then with placements, I was considering maybe working with children or hairdressing, something like that.
But don't rush into it. You've got so many options now. It's so different from when I was in school. So, you know, you've got so many options, and you're doing the right thing and enjoying it. Educate yourself and don't be putting pressure on yourself to do anything that you don't want. So that's vitally important, okay? So just do that. So, Kath, any other questions from the audience?
Yes, but firstly, dwi jyst isio ailadrodd rili, be oedd Eli'n ddeud, rili da i bod ei hyder hi wedi codi trwy gwneud y rhaglen yma a di progresio hefyd o'r engagement i level 1. A mi nath Eli sôn hefyd chydig am y sgilio mae hi dal hefo i weithio ar, ac oedd un o'r pethau nath i sôn y fyna oedd y West. So West ydi rhaglen mae'r darparwyr yn ei ddefnyddio i helpu dysgwyr i wella eu sgiliau cyfathrebu a rhifa hefyd. So mae hwnna'n dŵl dda, achos mae rhai o'r unigolion sy'n dod i fyny wan i'r dysgwyr, dydy sgiliau literacy a numeracy neu'r rhifa a cyfathrebu ddim y gorau gyda nhw, ond mae o'n opsiwn ydyn, a mae o'n rhaid y cyfle iddyn nhw wella ar y sgiliau yna. So mae'n berffaith, a Eli'n dweud, mae hwnna ran o'i wythnos hi wella sgiliau yna. So briliant, ond Jonathan, just un o'r cwestiynau sydd wedi dod trwad wan gen yr audience, so a all y dyddiadau fod yn hyblyg pan fyddent yn cychwyn hyfforddiaeth am y tro cyntaf. So, can the days be flexible when they first start a traineeship, as they may not be able to do one of the days?
Okay, that's for you, Kate, I think. Are the days flexible for them when they first start as a traineeship?
Yeah, of course. There's always a transition period, and lots of them coming from school or different backgrounds. That new transition can be quite daunting. Some of them have got a varied amount of responsibility at home. So obviously it's our intention to work with individuals to see what they need, and we try and support them with that whilst they're making that transition into the engagement group or into centre. Work on a routine that's workable for them and it's maintainable for both sides of the group. So yeah, initially come in and we will work with you to make sure that we can give you that flexibility. Ultimately, this is getting you ready to go to work or to move on to higher level learning within centre or elsewhere and get you into placements where you can learn your chosen career path and the skills within that. So ultimately, we need you to start coming in full time, but we understand that there are limitations to begin with. But for engagement learners, we would expect you to be in Monday to Thursday. So you always get a nice long weekend. so it's nothing to be sniffing at.
No, so Ellicia, yeah. So Ellicia, how many hours a week do you spend on your traineeship program?
While I was in engagement, it was Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
Now I've moved up to level 1. It's Monday to Thursday, and then up until 12:30 on a Friday morning.
Right. Oh,
So I do an extra 3.5 hours.
So it's a full week. It is, as Kate said, it's a full week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is good, really, because that's what you're doing. Because when you go into work, you know, you'll have to get used to working 5 days a week, I suppose. So there we are. So it's important to get into it as early as you possibly can. So, Kath, you have another question?
Yeah, so they're asking a very important one as well, Jonathan, I believe for some of the young people watching. They're asking, will I get paid when I'm doing a traineeship? So, ydych chi'n cael eich talu pan fyddech chi'n gwneud hyfforddiaeth?
Ellicia, do you get paid for this? I hope you do.
Yeah, the first week you start the traineeship, it's £30. And then from the week after, it's 40 during engagement. And then when you go up to level 1, you get 50.
Right, okay.
But while you're engagement, the £30 is the normal pay. And then the extra £10 is a bonus for going in all week.
Right, okay. Oh, good. That's
and
brilliant.
You get paid for example, I'll do all of this week's work and I'll get paid for this week's work next week.
Yeah.
So you get paid a week after for all the work, so it is quite good.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Kat, any other questions?
Yes, we've got another one that's come in. What do they get any holiday pay at all? Are they entitled to days off, and will they get paid?
Kate, that's your answer, I think. Do they get important question? Yeah. So, Kate,
it is important.
Holidays, yeah, and
yeah, it is very important. It's you would expect it if you were in work. Therefore, we do the same. We do it on a 28-day rolling sort of review period. So they come into centre, they do the requirements of the work in centre. I complete a review with them, which I feel is very important because it does assess their work during that month. And then they get their 2 days a month holiday, which are paid. And they can accrue those, so they can take it as a block, so they can take it as a week. Some of them save it right up so they get a couple of weeks in the summer holiday or when their other friends are off. We call it summer holiday because that's what they liken it to school, you know. Or I got others who get their 2 days and they'll want their 2 days immediately, and it's totally flexible. And as long as you give me notice, I'm more than happy for them to take their days whenever they choose.
Oh, good. Okay, great. So, Ellicia, do you think a traineeship is a good thing for someone to do when they first leave school? Obviously, you're a fine example of that. You just went straight into it.
Yeah, I think it is good in a way, because instead of them having that period of time off and having to get back used to getting into this ready for college, you're going straight back into something that you need to do your basic Welsh, English, maths, and your writing.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Because you don't have to re-prepare yourself.
Do you think, I mentioned this before, things like which people take for granted is punctuality. I think a bit of respect then for, you respect others and others respect you. Punctuality, discipline, and a routine. I think they are quite strong things to overcome. I suppose when you're in school, a bit lackadaisy like all of us were. But then once you do this, those, you've got to do those things, haven't you?
Yeah. What I found really good about being in centre is the fact that I was so used to the routine of school, I didn't have to get myself into a different routine because it was near enough the same, just maybe a little bit of a later start and finish time.
Yeah.
But the length of the days is basically like a full school day. So I wasn't having to change my routine too much.
Punctuality is good now, you're not late for anything?
I'm very really late into centre. Only if the bus is late or it's a very bad emergency.
All right, very good, very good. So, Kath, this question now. Any other questions, Kath?
Oes. So, question nesa. Will they be doing qualifications a byddent yn ymgymeryd cymhwysterau tra fydden nhw'n gwneud hyfforddiaeth?
Okay, so I think that's for you. Well, I think, Ellicia, have you done any qualifications while you've been on your traineeship program?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I completed an employability qualification.
Right.
And this week on Monday, I've just started a vocational studies.
Okay. Oh, lovely. So you've been working hard during lockdown?
Yeah, there was a
Absolutely.
lot of
Yeah, well, I know. All right, all right. All right, calm down, Kate. Calm down, Kate. I got 2 kids in school. One's working hard and one's not, so don't worry. I know what is happening. Right, Kate, can you tell us more about the qualifications? Kate, can you tell us yeah, what within the traineeship, yeah.
So they will have, obviously they can choose their career path, and then they'll be filtered out to start learning. They'll do a basic sort of taster, go and make sure this is what you want to do. And I think that's really vital to getting into the right qualification and working in the right area. So we give them the opportunity to go and have a look at it, go and spend a couple of days in your placement, make sure it's what you want to do, and then they'll start working towards the qualifications that they want to basically move into. Ellicia is a prime example. She started with me in January. She's done her employability qualification, which gives an employer the understanding that she's aware of everything that she's meant to do on a daily basis to be a valuable employee. And that's our goal. And now she's moving into vocational studies. So we've tailored that for her, and where she sort of expresses an interest. And she will continue to work through those qualifications, and no doubt she will fly them. But yeah, it's all important to make sure that it's what they want and it's where they need to be going, because they got to have that interest there to pursue that qualification.
I can see the relationship, between the pair of you. How important, Ellie, is Kate's support been for you?
It has been a big help, because sometimes I struggle with mental health issues. And there has been a couple of times where I might have been having a bad day in centre, or I've gone off and had a bit of a breakdown. And it has happened once in the classroom as we were finishing the lesson before lunch, and I've had to sit next to Kate, and we've had a conversation. I cried, we sorted things out, we had the conversation. And there's quite a few tutors in ITech, in centre, that I do feel I could go to and talk to.
Nice.
There is a lot of support.
Good.
And I find that really good, because I didn't see that support when I went to college.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I can see it. So it's vitally important, so especially with lockdown and everything that's going on, it's just hard kind of difficulty, I suppose. So it's lovely to see. So Kath, another question from the audience.
So oeddwn ni'n clywed o fanna gen Ellie bod na lot o support I gael gen darparwyr lle, ond dim just ar y cymhwystera fysa nhw yn gweithio tuag at, ond hefyd efo iechyd meddwl hefyd sydd yn bwysig ofnadwy dyddi yma, a mae Ellie di gweld lot o fydd yn hynna, so mae hynna'n rili braf clywed bod y support yna I bobl ifanc hefyd pan maen nhw'n gwneud rhaglen hyfforddiaeth. So, cwestiwn nesa, Jonathan, what sort of companies offer traineeships, work placements?
Okay, Kate, that's the one for you. I think it's vitally important, the trainees and the apprentices, when they finish, they have to have somewhere to go to. So, what sort of companies across the board?
Pretty much, yeah. Like I just mentioned, you try and get them out on a taster. And it's perfectly fine if you want to try different things. You have to be ready to go, so that you can go into a lot of the boys. Some of the girls fancy doing mechanics. It's an outdoor job. It's a physical job. So they got to know it's the right thing for them. So go and have a taste to see what you think. So they will put them into garages. Some go into hospitality and catering. So we'll look at that sort of industry, cafes, restaurants, that sort of thing. Health and social care. We generally look at childcare settings like nurseries, playgroups or schools at the lower sort of end of the scale, of the age scale, because it's easier for them to engage. Business studies, beauty. I always struggle with that one actually, because I'm not one for nails and hair, and I'm like, oh yeah, do a placement search, tell me where they are. And retail. So the industry and the place they want to go. I mean, it's quite broad, and we're happy to look at most things really within that spectrum.
And also, it's how can you tell us how the company benefits from getting the the learners in, give in placement? How do the companies benefit?
Well, for one, they're going to have somebody walk into the door who wants to be there, and they want to learn, and they've done the legwork to get through the door and learn. So for me, and from my point of view, once they leave me and they move on to level 1 and they're moving out into their placements, I would like to think that when an employer or potential employer gets one of these learners coming through their door, they're going to be met with somebody who's going to smash it. And that for an employer should be a massive bonus and a massive positive. And obviously, if there are positions that become available, then the learners can obviously apply for them or be considered for them in the future, which is brilliant in this.
And also, they in my experience now, they try and promote from within. So once someone like comes in, you build them, they know who you are, and then they know the business, so they try and promote from within. So just getting that start is vitally important, and getting to understand each other. Maybe Ellicia won't like where she's working, so she and vice versa. Then they will know Ellicia. So I think it's vitally important. So I think we're about to run out of time. Actually, it's gone very, very quickly. So I just think, Kath, can you let our viewers know where they can find out more about starting a traineeship?
Yes, so you can find out more about traineeships by calling Working Wales free on 0800 028 48 44 or visit workingwales.gov.wales. Ffoniwch Cymru'n gweithio am ddim ar 1800 228 48 44 neu ewch i cymru'n-gweithio.llw.cymru. Ond Jonathan, da ni wedi bod ar galwadau yma trwy'r wthnos, ond dwi'n siŵr bod pob sy'n gwylio heddiw mae eisiau clywed hefyd, Jonathan, so sut beth ydi o? O'n i'n clywed bod chdi'n apprentice o blaen, a dwi'n meddwl bod chdi wedi sôn pyn bach efo yna. So, sut oedd o i chdi fod yn apprentice? Ac ar ôl chdi atab hwnna, Jonathan, sut beth ydi o i chwarae i Gymru?
Hi, first question, I was an apprentice, Ellicia. I left school at 16. Things didn't go too well for me, so I decided to leave, and I was offered a job as a painter and decorator. And I was on £29 a week, a long time ago, mind. So not, but it was it's very similar to listening to you. It was just an opportunity. I went in, I had to learn punctuality, respect, discipline, but most of all, dealing with other people, dealing with people I worked with, dealing with people that I was painting their houses for. So it was very, kind of totally new world for me. But what it did, it gave me a lot of confidence on socially as well, social skills and that. So, and I do, I don't paint very often now. I've done a little bit in lockdown, fences and things in the house. But, I've gone on to do different things. But it's important that that's where you have the start. And I think that start is crucial for any kind of youngster, is getting that start in life. And then you can go and build, on your future then, whatever you want to do. So, I'm forever thankful to the opportunity I have as an apprentice. And it started my kind of working life career, thankfully. So it was amazing. And the other question, what's it like to play for Wales? It was odd, really, because I look at a traineeship and apprentice, very similar. I started rugby when I was 8 years of age. And then you just grow and, go into different teams and grow into school and then into youth and, dealing with different coaches, along the way. And you just learn. And all of a sudden, having not played for Wales at any level, I'm running out in front of 60,000 people and millions watching. I know that's slightly different to work in work. I wouldn't like to walk into work with 60,000 people watching me every day, especially on a Monday morning. But it is what it is. It's all very similar. You learn and develop, and you put your skills into practice, and then you perform them. So it's no different from doing any job than being a sportsman, except you play in the public eye. So, and playing for Wales was, the most exciting thing ever. I've never experienced anything like it before. It's not really a normal job. It was a hobby. So I had a job next door to it. So it was the most memorable experience of my life, which was unbelievable. So that's enough about me now. So tell everyone about traineeships. Go on and apprenticeships.
Oce, gwych, diolch Jonathan. A dwi'n meddwl un o'r pethau pwysig sydd dod allan heddiw yma gen Ellie a Jonathan hefyd yn ei brofiad o fod fel prentis i Ellicia-Mai yn ei yrfa heddiw yma, ydy bod chi'n dysgu yr holl ffordd a bod yn learner journey, dych bod feddwl, a bod y soft skills na fel hyder, punctuality, mae'n ei gyd yn cychwyn o'r dechrau a da chi'n bildio ar y sgiliau hanfodol yna trwy bywyd I gyd. So, so before we go and to find out more about traineeships, call Working Wales free on 0800 028 48 44 or visit workingwales.gov.wales. That's 0800 028 48 44 or workingwales.gov.wales.
Okay, and don't forget apprenticeships are the natural progression from a traineeship. So why don't you tune into our next session starting at 4 o'clock to find out more about apprenticeships. So thank you, Ellicia, Kate and Kath for the conversation today. Good luck, Ellicia, in the future, wherever you end up, okay? But to finish our session, why don't you watch this video? Gwylwch y video yma to find out how Kane has progressed with his learning and experience in the workplace. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much.
Bu Kane Lever McMahon 19 oed yn dioddef o orbryder ac unigrwydd ar ôl symud o Luton i'r Bari. Ond mae ei hyder a'i sgiliau cyflogadwyedd wedi gwella o ganlyniad i'r raglen gan ymddrydolaeth y tywysog a gaiff ei redeg trwy People Business Wales. Kane is working towards an NVQ Level 2 through a traineeship in hospitality at Cardiff and Vale College, as well as supporting community projects. His confidence has improved so much, he now has a weekly show on Bro Radio.
Jonathan, Ellicia, Kate, Kathy, thanks so much for joining us today. That was a really good session, really informative and really insightful. And I think building on Ellicia's experience just gave it a real kind of aspect, which I think the audience found really helpful. So thank you so much for that. And thank you to everyone online for taking the time to join this virtual open day event. Please do check out the other events that are available throughout this week, although there's only actually one more event left, which is the apprenticeships one at 4 o'clock. However, you can jump online at any point and access all of the recorded events in the same place where you originally signed up. Do also take some time to go through the extensive content that's now available for your region, covering school sixth forms, FE colleges, apprenticeships and traineeships, and you'll find these links at the bottom of the page that you use to join this event. Again, thank you for joining us today. Remember, last session is at 4 o'clock and it's on apprenticeships, hosted again by Jonathan Davies. Enjoy the rest of your day.